right. Hello, hello. Okay, who's reviewing today? We have, should be me, Michelle, Ehao, and Ian, right? And Lanny will do whatever Lanny wants.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of working right now.
If
so
Lanny wants to help, then Lanny can help.
If anybody comes on is like super into storyboard, I'll hop on for a second.
Yeah. Chelsea, you letting everybody know? Are you about to say we're live right now?
Yes, I'm
Cool.
typing in general chat. I'm also
Yeah,
for
Chelsea
anybody,
will be here, but in the background. She's working, so.
anyone confused, my voice is coming out of Dylan's mic because we're in the same room. So
I do
my
really
name
good
is up
impression.
here, but I'm deafened and I'm muted, but I am still here. So I'm going to be in and out because I'm still on the clock at work. So I probably won't be doing a lot of the reviewing, but you guys don't need me. You got good people here.
Emotional support.
Yep.
Chelsea, can we do headphones? Are you okay? Yeah. Okay. It'll start to echo. All right. Let's see. How's everybody doing? All right. Let me I wish there was a way to turn off the sound of people joining, but you are correct. Notifications, user join. There we go. That's off. User leave off. User moved off. Cool. All right. Now I won't hear it anymore. Okay. Let's start. What's up, everyone? Got 36 people here. Welcome to the portfolio review. And today it'll be me, Michelle, Ehao, and Ian that are going to be reviewing the portfolio. So should we do a little introduction or?
Yeah, you guys should go for it. Say a little bit about yourselves, and then for anybody that's either not getting reviewed or is.
Yeah, I'd like to have at least 5 projects a year.
What?
I mean, it was just kind of slow.
What the? He's talking to somebody else.
Okay, I just server muted him. So I'm going to be modding the chat. I was just going to say, please mute yourself or I will mute you.
Yeah, so unless you're the person getting a review, please just try to refrain from talking. And we can do a question or something at the end, but just because there's going to be a lot of us talking and a lot of portfolios to look at, we don't want this to go on for too long. So please just mute yourself while you're watching.
And we only have about, at the most, 10 minutes per person.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to get through as many people as possible. So
Cool.
Start introductions.
Okay, I guess I'll introduce myself. My name is Dylan Chunhachat. I'm a freelance illustrator / concept artist from LA. I work mostly in movie posters and I do some character design on the side. You guys might know me for my figure drawings on Instagram. And I am the co-founder of Resolution Art and this Discord. And next reviewer, we have Michelle Huyn Kwok. She's a background artist / Viz Dev artist from LA. She's previously worked as an animator for Naughty Dog, and she did background art for Shadow Machine. Next up, we have Ehao Shu. Ehao's a concept artist / illustrator. He just graduated from Art Center this year, but he's already done some illustration for Impetus with clients with like Riot and Tencent. So Ehao's going strong. And he also took a mentorship last year. And lastly, on the roster, we have Ian Su. Ian's currently a background painter at Titmouse, previously freelance concept artist for Riot, The Mill, Aquatic Moon. Ehao's also an Art Center alumni. So we got some good people today. All right. So for the review, we'll be doing about 6 people today, and it's going to be around 10-minute each. We'll first kind of talk about the presentation of the portfolio, just to kind of, in case you are sending this portfolio out to companies already, we want to talk about things you can improve right away in terms of presentation, what to cut. Maybe you can rearrange things, or just kind of website layout overall. And then after that, we can start to talk more about, things that you can improve on, what you're going to be doing moving forward. So hopefully that'll be helpful. All right, should we start?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Can you guys see my screen? I'm screen sharing. There's my website right here. Yeah, everybody's cool. Okay, first person we have Maria. Maria, is this Eom?
Is Maria here?
Is Maria here? You can speak up if you're here, or type in the chat. I should have asked for Discord handle in the application.
Also, if you guys are, or if anybody's not here, we're skipping because we want the person to be present.
Maria's not here.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna skip
Next.
this. We'll give her some chance to show up. We'll come back to this at the end. Next we have Valerie Juto. Hello. Wait, there's so many people here. Valerie, I found you. I got you. Here we go. So, Valerie, you are interested in animation and games? And it says here you're a recent graduate. Is that right? Okay. Let's take a look. Flip through everything. For the reviewers, if you have anything to say, feel free. Yeah. You have a lot of work.
I just finished this project actually. Just finished it like in August.
This is for a client?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Let me look at some other ones first.
This my school works.
It's nice. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Oh my god, you guys, my mouse wheel is broken and I'm having a hard time scrolling. Bear with me. This one's different than the rest. It's cool though. Yeah, I think the big thing right now is organization. It's a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
So it needs to be more curated. Yeah.
Right off the bat, you have like a really good sense of like color and light, and that's already very eye-catching. But I think at this point, it might come down to organization.
Is it this one? No. Oh. what is this? Oh, personal illustration. I see. First one.
Sorry, I can't really hear you.
Yeah, Michelle, you're like kind of quiet.
Oh.
Hold on, 1 second. Okay, how is this?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So like your foreground, it's all very evenly spaced out.
It's like 1 tree, 4 tree, 3 tree, 4 tree.
So you can like add it more uneven and just kind of lead the eye towards where you want to go. Probably towards the moon. And then the second read will be the cross.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, some of these are really nice and definitely better than some other ones. So cutting down stuff would definitely help a lot. Also, like the way you put a page together, right? Like I'm seeing, like a mood painting here, one here, and then there's, this is different time of day, right? And then you have some props, and then it kind of goes back to like mood painting again, and they kind of jump back and forth, right? And now we have sketches and then back to the mood paintings again. You might want to like put all the paintings together at the top, and start with something strong, right? Like I feel like I really like this last one too. This is nice.
Oh, thank you.
And put
Because the thing is like, so I'm sure you have like a story in your mind and maybe the way you sequenced it makes sense in that way. But coming
Yeah,
from
it's
like an outsider, it's a little, we don't really know the story. So unless it's like very obvious, right now we kind of see a lot of different pieces from the same project obviously, but they're a little, it could be organized a little better in terms of like, here are the background things first, and here are the pop designs, and then the layouts.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Same with like all the other like this background sober. This is a lot of pieces, right? I would cut because and this applies to all of us too, even the professionals. Like not every piece you do is gonna be your best piece, right? And it's okay, but for a portfolio, you only want to show the best stuff. And I know like this is what's cool about this as well is that you did one a day every single day, so I understand that. But it's getting to be a lot, or maybe move this lower into the page, because this is kind of the second thing we click at, and it's like coming from a project that's a little hard to follow, even if they're really good. Like I really like all of these props and even the paintings and stuff, but it's a little hard to follow with the format, and then coming over here and it's a lot of paintings, and then going to the next thing, it's also a lot of stuff. Like you have a lot of work, which is good. That's why these are looking good, because you're working hard, but it's way too much stuff for a portfolio.
Yeah, what's that thing, like you're only as good as your weakest piece?
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't matter if like you did it like 2 years ago and you're a lot better now, because that's what an employer sees, and they think, oh, they can be as good as their best piece, but maybe if I hire them, they might get something that's like a not so good piece. So there's like a range there.
Yeah.
And so it kind of wavers the faith in the employer that the employer has in you, and that's something that you generally want to avoid.
What do you guys think about this one?
This one is an old one.
And it also doesn't really fit the rest of the portfolio, right?
Yeah.
It definitely does stand out also, because it's like a more sci-fi character-based thing, as opposed to everything else is like illustrations and visual development, key scenes.
It's also more realistic,
Mm.
right? Compared to like these are a little bit more whimsical, more stylized. So I don't know. I mean, if you're saying it's old, are you saying that you don't really want to do this anymore? Like I might just cut this even if it's good, just because it doesn't fit the rest of the portfolio, unless you're trying to move more into this direction, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Yeah, I guess I should cut that one off.
It's hard. I know it's hard to cut because it's like we're like precious with the things we make, but you have a lot of stuff, so I would definitely cut. Okay, let's talk about what we can work on to improve on these pieces. I know Michelle already kind of talked about like the foreground being arranged, like be careful with the composition, not to space everything out so evenly. A lot of these pieces are kind of dark, and I know like they're indoors or something, right? I'm not really sure what the light direction is on a lot of these. There's just kind of like an ambiguous glow on a lot of objects, right? Yeah, actually like all throughout here. It's mostly like spotlighting.
Yeah.
So you might want to try out some more direct natural lighting, because like I know like these like really cool spotlighting, it's like really interesting. You have a lot of these, so you can do them. But we're just not seeing them in the projects, right?
Yeah.
Any you guys background painters? You want to say anything about these? It's a background heavy portfolio.
One big thing that people look for like keyframe biz dev and like background painting is that they want to see that you're able to do a wide variety of lighting scenarios. And I'm seeing a lot of that in like background tober, I assume, because like maybe some of them are like half based on studies or whatever. But yeah, it'd be nice to see some of that in like applied to your projects. Like that one's really cool.
Yeah, I really like this.
One thing I noticed in your BizDev project is it's like Dylan said, they all seem to be kind of dark, and then there's like one like light source from like a glow or a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is kind of glowy, so just more direct, more realistic. And another thing real quick is your brush strokes. Just try to, when you lasso out the shapes and have a little bit more solid brush stroke, it looks better than when you're kind of brushing it in like low opacity, because it kind of looks unsure. And I know like that just comes from like more experience and more confident, but there's a lot of like blurriness going on, and I know you're also blurring the foreground a little bit, and it's just kind of making everything feel a little mushy. So just be more clear with like which direction the light is coming from, because there's a lot of like soft brushes going on here.
Yeah. We were just talking about this to like another person 2 days ago. I forgot who, but like a lot of like blurry brush strokes, they tend to like the painting over here. They tend to give off a amateurish feeling because it looks like you're a little unsure of where things are. And so here's the thing. I mean, I assume you've seen Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen concept art.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a period of time where everyone was kind of like trying to copy that style, and all their paintings became so good because of that. Because the style is
like
all
these.
total opacity. This is this is that. It's very, all their brushstrokes are very sure of themselves. They know where they want to be. They know what is what. And when you're doing more of a blurry, you know, maybe it's a style thing, maybe it's, you know, you're a little unconfident about painting more precisely. That tends to, you know, it tends to look like not as good.
Yeah, because you know you got to remember like edges is something you can use as a tool, right? If the whole painting is blurry and there's one really sharp edge area, that's going to create contrast and our eyes are going to go there, right? But if everything is kind of blurry and the sharpness is kind of all over the place, we don't really know where to look, right? So just be careful with the edges. Cool. All right, I think we're gonna have to move on.
We're gonna have to speed it up a little bit too, guys, because it's getting no.
Yeah, hope that helps.
You have great work though.
Oh wait, let me check the contact page real quick. Okay, real quick, and for everybody else from now on too, nobody wants to fill out the contact form, okay? Just put your email. Put your email there. Also a lot.
Oh, it's under my name.
Oh, it's up
yeah,
here.
That's all you
Put
really
it over here too.
Yeah.
You see, look, I'm like not that old, am I? I'm 30, right? A lot of the people who are hiring are in their 50s, right? They're a lot older than us. They're not as tech savvy as we are. They're not gonna have the patience to look through everything and find it. So I didn't see it here because I clicked on contact and I didn't see it. So just make it easy for them. And the contact form situation, a lot of times it's the person who are finding you is not the person who's gonna contact you, right? So the recruiter would need your email to send it to the art director or something, and they'll be contacting you on all that, right? So have their email out. I know you have it up here, but put it over here too.
Make it stand out.
Yeah, make it easy.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, cool. Let's go to the next person. Thank you, Valerie. Okay, we have Clinton Caldwell. Hey, how's it going? I like this portfolio. It's really cool.
These are fun characters.
You wrote down that you want to do everything, but we can't all do everything, can we? Are you into background design at all? Because it seems like this is mostly characters with some still life studies.
Yeah, I've gotten feedback on that. Shooting backgrounds.
I mean, like, it's a good advice because it's hard to get. Yeah, but you don't have to. If you're trying to be a character designer, just go all the way. Like, these are definitely pretty good. Yeah, it's just there are less character design jobs, so it's harder.
I mean, you could always, I mean, you can do like characters as like the primary focus and like backgrounds as like something on the side, as like a plan B.
Oh, we're echoing a little bit there. Where's it coming from? Is that from Clinton?
Let me check.
Oh.
Anyways, I was gonna say, I think the objective is pretty clear. If you want to have background painting as your secondary focus, you really don't need that many paintings to impress people. Like, I think your studies already demonstrate like a clear level of like technical ability. You just kind of have to apply it onto, you know, really just like 4 strong paintings with like different light sources, and that's 4 or 5 is enough to get you hired.
Yeah. I mean, same thing we told Valerie, right? Like, just we don't need that many pieces. And actually, because you have VizDev here and then character here, but like in visual development, there's also characters. I would just split it off into like backgrounds, characters. and then just put all the background painting on one page, put all the characters in one page. Like, this should probably be on the character page, right? Same with like these, just put them all together. It'll look better because now it's just kind of everything. And then it's like you have still life down here. That's not really visual development, you know. So just for you, I think if you just split it off into backgrounds and characters, that might be more effective.
Yeah, because visual development is kind of a particular, it's kind of a particular term, especially when it comes to animation. When people hire for visual development, it generally looks a little bit more like what Valerie's portfolio looks like. You know, they want the whole package. They want you to be able to like develop a project, you know, characters, keyframes, you know, prop designs, story beats, etc. But yeah, that's generally what visual development is when it comes to animation. I don't really think there's visual development for games.
I mean, it's basically concept
That's
art.
just generally concept art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
usually games get split up too between characters and then studio.
Yeah, your job might be concept artist, a viz dev artist, but you will probably going to be specialized in something and only be doing specific things at the job. And I know, like, when people give the advice of like do more backgrounds or something, they're trying to split up, right? Like, I'm sorry, not split. They're trying to cater to more jobs so that you have more chances of getting that job. But in my opinion, like, if you're splitting up your focus, you're just going to be half as good as somebody who's full-time doing that one thing, right? So are you really raising your chance of getting hired? I'm not sure, right? I think specializing is definitely a lot better.
I mean, I think you're clearly capable in like both. Just looking at
Yeah, these are really nice paintings.
Yeah. So we've already talked about background things. I assume you're interested in character design, so I'm gonna talk a bit on that.
yeah, please do.
Dylan, can you
Go to character.
open cases?
I can't open these, by the way. They're just kind
No,
of
that's fine.
stuck this size.
Yeah, so
These
life
open.
is good. I think you have a good sense of style. Like, these are very different characters. I can see them in like a fighting game, for example. Sorry, I think.
So I don't know if you've taken a look at other people's character design portfolios, but generally that entails a little bit more exploration of either the character itself or the idea generation stage. I might already be saying stuff that you already know, but you know, character design portfolios, they want to see more sketches, more iterations, more explorations of like maybe, you know, what prop they might be holding, you know, maybe even like turnarounds of the characters to show that you're thinking about dimensionality and functionality of a character. Like, these are very cool one-shots, but I think the next step, if you want to further flesh out your portfolio, is to, you know, go through the entire like pipeline of developing a character. Not only to show that you understand how the pipeline works, but also that you are capable of working at every stage. You know, do different sketches, you know, explore different weapons for the character, and you know, all that good stuff. Different color options. You know, draw the character from the back, obviously. Do you have any like studios you'd like to work at, just to give me a benchmark of like what you're thinking of?
At this moment, I don't really have anything specific in mind.
Okay, that's fine. But I think, yeah, that's usually a good idea. I think a lot of the times people, they're not super sure of where they want to go or what their options are. So I'm sure you play video games to some degree. It'd be good to like look up you know, the people working in the industry that you want to be in, and you know, try to, you know, match your work to theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Ian, can I pull up your portfolio real quick? I'm thinking of like character designers, but you're right here, so let's just do this.
Okay.
So, like what Ian's talking about, right? Like there's turnarounds, there's variations, and then there's concepting stage, right? Like exploration.
Yeah.
See that, right? Every character designer, they're gonna have these kind of stuff in this portfolio. So, and from what you clearly know how to do it, but just include it to make sure that they can see that you can work in a pipeline.
Yeah, you have the skills, so now it's a matter of content. Actually, can you go back to my portfolio, like the very first one?
This one?
So one thing that I didn't do here, I don't know if you played League of Legends or seen the game, it's a top-down game. And one thing I didn't do that I urge you to do is to
You've
think
done it
about
though, right?
the
Right here.
game experience. Yeah,
Like this.
something like this. If you're designing for a game like League of Legends, you always want to design from that perspective that which you'll be seeing this character. So for League of Legends, it's, you know, you want to always have the top-down render. That's why everyone who like does League characters, they always do it from that perspective. Another example would be like Overwatch or like any FPS game, for example. Yeah, sure, you're going to design the character, you're going to design their gun, but also you want to design the gun from that first-person shooter angle, like where you're going to be holding the gun in front of you. Like I'm holding my hands right here, but you can't see it, so I don't know why I'm doing that. If you look up Qfang, there's like some examples on. You gotta hit artists.
Oh, our station does this thing where it takes a while before it pops up, right? Remember? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, click on the like the ear of the dog thingy.
Oh. Well, this one
Or
has,
actually,
see
yeah,
this
just-
perspective
yeah,
of the
just
gun?
Draw the gun from the game angle, but that's kind of my point, right? You want to like design things for the player experience. So there's no reason why you would have something like that in like a League of Legends game or like a fighting game, for
See
example.
this right here,
So
right?
you always want to think about what context your character design is going to be in, especially when you're like, you know, like industry to industry. Like a character design portfolio for games is going to be very different from animation.
And can I say, it doesn't mean that if you do a first person view that you're gonna be working on a first person. They just want to know that you're thinking of the end product when you're designing.
Yeah, that makes
Right?
sense.
Yeah. So like just because you're doing a top down view doesn't mean you're only gonna be working on a mobile game where there's top down. What do we think about just a little? I'm tempted to say more polished on the finish, but for concepting, it's not as necessary.
Yeah, it depends. I think, in my opinion,
It would be
generally,
nice.
It would be nice to see like one character like polished to the maps, like however far you can go.
Like
And
these.
you really only need like one or two. It's really just to show that you can do it, but because most of your job entails quick sketching, ideations, explorations, like they're not gonna make you render. Unless you're working in live action, which then in case, yeah, that's a requirement. But for games and animations, mostly sketches and line work, quick ideas.
Yeah.
But showing that you can render always, it's always a good bonus.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that was really in depth.
Contact page, good. Email right there, easy to reach. I love it. All right, I think we're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to pick it up because we got 25 minutes, guys.
We're doing okay. We can go a little over. It's not a big
we
deal.
can go a
but
little
we're-
over, but yeah,
sticking
we
to
got a
it.
schedule today.
Remember we had the intro in the beginning too, so
I
it's
know.
taking some time. But we good,
Sorry, I'm
Clinton.
the
Good work,
annoying
man. Really
person.
cool stuff.
Yeah, your work
Poking
is
you
really
guys.
cool.
Thank you guys. That was really good. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Clinton.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Q Fang. No, wait. No. We don't. Lydia Gibson.
Hi,
You're here.
I am.
I read that you went to Cal State Long Beach.
I'm still going, yeah.
We gotta stick together here. I also went to Cal State Long Beach, and I think we have another. I think Zach's up next. Zach also went to Cal State Long Beach, right?
Dylan and I went, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's talk about this. You are into animation, am I right? That's what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I like that there's a picture. It like makes it easy for us to imagine that you're not a crazy weirdo homeless person somewhere.
I do want to mention that that's really helpful to get work too, because I mean, I know like as artists we like to have like our drawn
right here
profile picture, but it's really beneficial. Like at the least you should have your actual face on your LinkedIn, because that's something that
they're gonna look you up.
They are 100% gonna look you up, and they want to see your face because they want to know who they're working with.
It's not necessary, but
with COVID happening right now.
It helps. Okay, right off the bat, there's a lot of stuff here that's not really animation. There's a lot of like illustrations here. This is very Long Beach, and you gotta remember: are you in the animation track or illustration track?
Pre-production actually.
Pre-production.
I'm right now.
Yeah. Long Beach they don't really offer a lot of classes when it comes to visual development. It's just because the school they're more focused on editorial illustration, and the pre-production track is new, so they're still working on that from what I've noticed. You have a project here, pre-production work. Yeah, I would just call this Viz Dev, because I know pre-production is what it is, but in the industry, just visual development might be easier. Some storyboards here, and then color script and backgrounds. Then what's over here? Illustration work. Do you want to get illustration work as well?
I mean, honestly, just for right now, it's what I can get.
Okay.
I don't know if I should be making 2 different websites, or if
Yeah, at least it's split off. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's the website is a little bit of a mess. I just made it recently.
That's okay. At least you have one.
I appreciate it.
About an experience. I wonder if that could be combined. Maybe. But you have your email on this one up here, and this one out here. I got you. You made it easy for me.
I feel like I would combine the about
and the experience. Yeah, put it into one page.
Yeah. I think the landing page is fun, but people are generally very impatient to get to the actual work. I would have people land on your illustration work like just
right away, right? Yeah, illustration right away.
Okay, cool. That's good. Thank you.
What are these projects for? Is this for school or?
This was actually an illustration job I just wrapped up for a kid's book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And these are just kind of, some of them were for school, some of them are just kind of commissioned works or personal work. Most of them are commissions.
Okay, I guess I'll take over this one because I have a little more experience with illustration stuff and Long Beach. If you're trying to get into visual development, it's gonna be a lot more foundation heavy. You know, editorial illustration, you can kind of get away with more stylized stuff that's, you know, design heavy rather than realistic. But in animation work, especially like, I don't know, you're trying to get into 3D animation, you know, if you need to be able to rotate things three-dimensionally, your background needs to have a little bit more structure in terms of like perspective and stuff. So I would work on that if animation, just entertainment art in general, right? Like games is the same way, but just because, you know, animation, like, things are going to be moving around, backgrounds are moving around. If the tree only looks good from one angle and not the other, it's not really going to fly, right?
Absolutely.
So just focus more on that. God, my mouse wheel is not working.
Yeah, I'll jump in and say, as somebody that also graduated from Long Beach, when I graduated, I had a portfolio that was, honestly, I mean, I don't know, what would you say, kind of similar to this? Ish?
Yeah, it was very, like, editorial illustration heavy.
Very, yeah. And I see a lot of, like, myself in your stuff as far as, like, just, like, general, like, type of work and, you know, skill level and stuff. And it's going to be a long road to getting foundation up to where it should be.
Yeah, and that's tough. You're going to have to
which-
do a lot of studying on your own because that school doesn't really teach that.
Yeah, and it's a hard, and I'm telling you this because I want to help you as much as possible, because Long
No,
Beach,
I
I feel
appreciate
like,
it, yeah.
like it honestly failed on the foundation level. And I wish that someone had told me before I graduated, but it's going to be a lot of work, like, outside of, like, the homework and stuff that they give you, and they don't give nearly as much homework there as they should, compared especially to, like, Art Center. And you're competing with these people that are getting, like, 10 times the homework that we're getting at Long Beach. And so you're going to have to really, like, work, like, outside of
Yeah.
school on top of everything, which is hard. It's,
You know
it's
what
really
you can
difficult,
do if
but-
you're kind of, like, lost about what to do or what they're expecting? The industry right now, I know they will still tell you that, like, you know, a degree is not necessary, college is not necessary, but the reality here is the industry is still dominated by Art Center, Cal Arts,
It definitely is,
you know,
yeah.
Laguna, Otis, right? Like the big private art school, they're still running the show, right? And their standards are a lot higher than,
Yeah.
you know, Cal State Long Beach. And their programs are better, even though they're way too expensive, in my opinion, right? But they're still getting better education, so their portfolios are more prepared. And these are the people who are getting jobs, right? So if I were you, and this is what I had to do for myself too, because I went to Long Beach as well, I had to look at the Art Center portfolios, like people who are graduating, people who are getting jobs, and look at the level that they're working at and try to be better than that, you
And
know?
emulate them. I mean, the way that I honestly got my first animation job was I actually went to an Art Center grad show with Dylan, and I saw this girl that I really liked her work, and I emulated her, and I looked at her portfolio and I basically copied it, but I changed enough stuff to where it was not obvious at all that I copied, and I had my own project.
Yeah,
Exactly,
copy the format. Right,
yeah.
right.
And I did everything that she did. Because I didn't learn it from Long Beach. They didn't tell us, like, how to do it. So I used, like, the Art Center kids' portfolios as a way to kind of gauge what was needed, and I got a job in the industry that year from doing that, honestly. So
Okay,
think-
that's really helpful. Thank you.
yeah.
A lot of the times, trying to get hired in this industry feels very, like, it feels like you're grasping in the dark because you don't really know what to do or what really works because everyone's story is so different. I think generally what helps, as well as, like, instill confidence in yourself, is see what worked for other people and try to, you know, not copy what they did, copy, like, the formula, you know, the framework.
And you actually have a strength over them because, you know, of how
Totally,
intensive
yeah.
their programs are. Everybody kind of come out looking the same, which I'm sure you've heard that before, right? But at least their foundation is strong enough, right? So
Use your strength. Like use your strength. Like the fact that Long Beach really emphasizes being, like, individual and having your own voice, and, you know, being able to have your own style and stuff like that. It's a
Yeah.
really big advantage that you've got over the Art Center kids.
I'm on the Art Center website, right? Grad Show Art Center or whatever. I Googled this and I just found this. Entertainment design. I'm looking at the concept art.
Not
I don't
to say
know
that
who
they
any
don't
of these
have their
people
own
are,
voice,
but like this is the level of the art that's coming out of there,
Yeah.
right? And I know it's different subject matter. Where can I go for
You
illustration?
can hit illustration.
There we go.
Yeah, a
So
lot of the animation kids coming out of Art Center, there's a look, you know, they're like, oh,
yeah,
you graduated from
Oh,
Art Center. They didn't even look at you.
Ehao.
They just look at your work.
Ehao's on here,
Oh yeah, he has one of our reviewers today.
Yeah. That's
right?
the show.
You gotta look at like see the level that's coming out of it, like
Yeah. Absolutely.
this kind of work, right?
It's intimidating, but
the,
you can
the
get there.
standards
You can
have
definitely
dropped
get there.
quite a bit for Art Center, but they're still better than a lot of other places.
Absolutely.
And of course, there's other people coming out of other places that are really good too. But if you're kind of lost about where to look, you know, this is still kind of the standard. And in terms of where to learn this, like brainstorm, CDA, you know, schoolism, you gonna have to work on that. What else?
We post resources in this Discord a lot too. Like the purpose, I mean, the whole purpose of like resolution was to try to help people get work and transition from being a student into being a professional. So, you know, we're here for that whole reason. So like if you're looking for a community and resources, like it's in this Discord.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, can I say something real quick too?
Laney, Kelsey Long Beach.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
I know I said I was at work, but you know I'm from Long Beach. I feel like I should chime in and at least say something. No, but I was just gonna say too. I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but also, you know, like at Long Beach, like they said, more geared towards kind of editorial illustration and all that. And just looking at your portfolio, like there's you in it, you know, like compared to other people's portfolio where it's like, oh wow, like look at all these great rocks and great people standing on cliffs and all this really cool stuff, like amazing paintings with great lighting, completely different from what you're doing. But
There's
like,
more
it is-
personality here, for sure.
Exactly, and it's you, you know, you're finding a voice and all that. So it's just don't lose what you have. Like yes, like if you want to work in the industry, you have to get up to industry standards and learn what they need you to do. I feel like what Long Beach teaches you a little bit more, like, you know, maybe not that strong foundation, but you know what you're doing. You can get those cool jobs where, like, you know, it's these quirky kind of things where they really like your style that you've developed or whatever. But learn that foundation, do all the stuff they're talking about, but also don't, you know, give up on what you've done to draw like cool people standing in front of rocks too. You know, take what you've done and then keep pushing and gain that foundation.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
I guess one quick place where you can start is just work in the pipeline, right? Before you go straight into a background like this, do some sketches first, more thumbnails, more exploration. Don't commit right away to a piece.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you kind of just started painting this and then this is where you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sketch it out first and then work on it. There's going to be a lot of revisions and editing. That's how the job is going to be too, right? Not a lot of finishes, a lot more of the earlier stages. Cool?
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. All right,
Thank
let's
you.
move on. Thank you, Lydia. We got-
Apologies, this isn't going as fast as we
It's
wanted
going
it
pretty
to.
fast. I think I had a long intro. That's what it was. Okay.
We'll get through everybody.
Yeah,
I want to get
there's
through
only
everyone.
2 more. That's fine. Zachary,
Hi there.
hello. Are you Cal State Long Beach too, right?
Oh no.
Where'd you
Well, he already
where'd
heard
you
the
learn this
spiel.
stuff? They don't teach this there.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, I can hear you.
Where did you learn this stuff? I know they don't teach this there.
You know, it's funny, kind of going down memory lane with what you guys were just saying about Cal State, because actually, I think pretty early on, me and a friend of mine kind of started to realize some of the stuff you were saying, and we had just found out about schoolism and stuff at that time, so we had been taking a lot of outside courses and stuff like that, just trying to like.
Yeah,
learn what we
you
need.
have to. School is not enough anymore. Even if you go to art center, like brainstorm and stuff, you because other people are taking those classes and they're taking the jobs. So you have to. Cool work, man. Wait, do you guys know each other?
I'm not sure. You know, since the pandemic started, I haven't been to a lot of people.
That's
But it's possible.
Yeah, I've never even been on campus.
yeah. Oh man, that really sucks.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Okay, so we have my portfolio. It's a very straightforward VizDev portfolio. There's multiple projects here, right?
Yeah. So there's like 2, and then the rest of them are kind of like miscellaneous.
I was gonna say split it up, but it's pretty organized, so I'm good with the way it is. I really like this like scroll straight down kind of thing. About illustration. Okay, same thing. Too many pieces, and they're good, but again, right? You're judged by your weakest piece, and the more pieces you have, the more weaker pieces you have.
Right.
So, these traditional.
Yeah, some of those are plainer.
Yeah, like there's a lot here, right? Like you don't need this many.
Yeah.
Just pick the best one and maybe like 2 or 3 of those. Put the characters next to each other or something so they feel a little bit more organized, like these pages where there's multiple ones, put them next to each other. Just rearranging things around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What is this? This almost feels like it should be in like VizDev in the portfolio. Oh, because this is portfolio and this is illustration and study. I see.
Yeah, there's some stuff where I wasn't too sure, and I kind of maybe was wondering if that was something I would ask. Because like there are some things where it's like it probably could go, but because everything else, maybe not everything else, but like a majority of the other stuff is somewhat tied to a project. Like would it sort of not fit if it wasn't tied to a project?
Yeah, that makes sense. Ian, Michelle, Iha, anything you want to say?
I mean, the work is good. You have a really good sense of light.
What can we do to make it better? Was this 3D?
Yeah, there was a 3D base for that one.
Cool.
I couldn't get the hang of it. It's kind of a weird shape.
You got it. I guess when I see the characters, the proportions are a little inconsistent and it's a little weird sometimes. So, and I know this is not a character heavy portfolio, so it's fine. And like everything else is so good. But again, right, you're judged by the weakest thing. And so I'm being nitpicky, but I feel like they all have this same proportion of like bigger head, smaller body, and it's all exactly the same proportion. So you might want to work on just varying it up. And I can't tell if it's like an adult or a child character.
Oh, okay, I see.
Maybe that's
they all look really
these
good.
Yeah, this is nice.
I think to be nitpicky is like maybe some of the rendering for the sci-fi pieces would be better if you made it more crisp to like suit that almost like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what Ian said earlier about like everyone was mimicking like Spider-Verse, but it worked because it shows more confidence and it's just I think that kind of
the lasso tool, man, use it to your advantage.
I think it would suit sci-fi more for this. Like for fantasy, sure, you can have more painterly type stuff, but I think just maybe make it just a bit cleaner.
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense.
It's not necessarily so much about like, oh, you need to paint at full opacity, you need to have hard edges, but it's more so about having more confidence in what you're doing and like having like a stronger like value structure to your work already adds a lot, as opposed to like, it's light in the center and slowly gradates towards black on the outside.
I suppose because like in that sense it's also about like reflecting the genre as well, as opposed to just having the subject matter.
Yeah, like rocks and trees and stuff, you know, messier brushstrokes kind of work well. But when it comes to like this kind of like flat, hard edges, like artificial things, you know, I feel they start to look almost not flat, right? A flat plane that's supposed to be flat now feels like it's moving around like a tree. I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of works because you spent so much work on this, but you might be able to save some time just...
Yeah. Yeah, in retrospect, it's kind of like, why couldn't I have just...
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think also keeping, like, checking your values for a lot of your pieces too might help be better about, like, drawing the focus more.
Yeah, some of these are definitely better in terms of focus. I really like this first one. This is a good choice for the first piece. Like, they're kind of competing for attention a little bit, and I know, like, that is kind of the narrative here. There's just compositionally, just be a little bit more mindful about the purpose. And I know it's hard because, like, in the beginning for us, I mean, I struggle with this too. It's like, it's so hard just to make it look good. And now you gotta, like, think about why you're even doing it in the first place, right? And what message is it saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, like, the lighting here is really cool, but if it's really just about this centerpiece, just make that stand out more than the rest. Kind of, you can lower a lot of the contrast on the outside.
Yeah, I think a good way to think of it is it's like basic Gestalt principles. Like if everything is interesting, then nothing is, you know?
Yeah.
It's all about contrast.
Yeah, right? Like, this is a perfect example. There's kind of stuff everywhere. So just, even the, like, you know, because I like this shape of the rock thing, or is it a tree, whatever it is, it's pointing our eye over here, but is it the tail hanging off, like, the hierarchy of, like, 1, 2, 3, it's kind of leading my eye out this way, actually, right? Because it's, like, bigger here, and it's kind of pointing to the right as opposed to coming into the piece. So just rearranging things around, even the figure, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all evenly spaced out. You might want to group that, have the shorter one, maybe taller one. One of them might be overlapping a little bit more, something like that. So just rearranging the composition and with the design in mind.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, is there more stuff? No, same stuff. Just 2 different menus. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Good work. About page with the email. Awesome. All right, let's move on. Zachary, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Lastly, we have... Okay, now I'm confused, right? Because on the application, it doesn't say Dan Hilo. Are you here? It's Nestor Espinoza. Hello?
He might not be here.
I talked to this guy on the Discord before, so I know he's in the Discord.
Do you know their
You
handle?
want to ping him?
Nah, he's dropped the ball, all right? This is what happens.
We got to get moving anyway.
I wanted to talk about this too because there's a 3D of Ian's piece in here.
I mean, you can mention... Oh, is that Ian's?
Wasn't this your design?
Oh, that's so old. Yeah. It's not on my portfolio anymore because I don't like it.
Did Maria show up?
I don't think so.
She's based in Germany. It might be difficult for her.
Oh, that's probably why.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's the date that they wrote down, man, and we emailed them and everything. See what happened, you guys? Now you're on the
now you're on the naughty list.
The naughty list.
Okay, we got...
All right, well, I guess we did good. 5 o'clock.
I mean, that was
an hour.
Oh, it has been an hour. Yeah.
We could,
We
Yeah,
can keep
all right.
going if you guys are wanting to go. We gotta get going at 6 though, because then we have another panel in here at 7.
Okay, well, I hope that was helpful to everybody. I was gonna say, if you have any question, ask, but we're doing a Q&A after this at 7, right? So 2 hours from now. So ask us questions over there instead.
Yeah, we can do questions at 7. That'll be in like 2 hours from now. Are you guys wanting to go longer on the reviews because we didn't really get through that many?
No, we did. We did all of them.
Oh, we did do all of them?
Yeah, that's 6. We can't really do more than
Okay.
that. Well, we
Okay,
did.
cool. Well,
4,
I mean, skipped over 2 because they were absent.
which turned out perfectly.
okay, that works.
Any closing
Okay.
statements before you guys leave?
I like good stuff. It's just follow the format. Organization is really important. You know, you'd be surprised what you can do by just rearranging things around. Like, we've had a student, remember, like we talked about this before, but like Sergio, remember? Like, he was really good, but his portfolio was all over the place, and he's like, I can't get any jobs. And like, all we did was move stuff around in his website, and then he just started getting jobs.
Yeah, if you guys aren't getting jobs, it doesn't necessarily mean your work's not good. It just means that you might
But
be
you know,
organizing
that's not
really
always the
terribly.
case. Sometimes it is your work. You gotta get better. That's
Someone asked, is the Q&A going to be in the Discord call too?
yes, it'll be over in the panel channel, so that'll be a broadcast. You
It
can
will be-
raise your hand and ask question. It'll be like Clubhouse.
It's like a Clubhouse talk, if you guys know what Clubhouse is. It's 2 channels.
You can
under
type
this
like
one.
you're typing right now. That's perfect. Get your questions ready. Maybe.
Yeah, we're not using that right now because you can't screen share on that, unfortunately.
But yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go get dinner so I can come back for the Q&A.
But just real quick, let me remind everyone for the Q&A, it's going to be, let me read out who we've got.
It's at 7, right?
It's at 7,
2 hours from now.
which
We
is
got
2 hours from now. And we have Dylan, I'll be there too, Camille, Rodriguez, Holly, Alex, and then Night Zhang. So all those people will be here answering you guys' questions. So come back in 2 hours and we'll see you then.
Yeah, and just as like a general closing statement, I know I'm like not that active on here, but there's like a lot of like professional working artists that sometimes check in. You know, feel free to like ask questions in this Discord. That's kind of like the whole purpose of why Chelsea and Dylan made this, you know, to be more accessible to, you know, especially a lot of people out there who don't really have a lot of resources to, you know, like,
Yeah,
they
I
don't
definitely
really
know what
what's
it's like.
happening in the art industry and whatnot.
I went to Cal
They
State
don't
Long
really
Beach
know
too.
what
I
the
get
fucking
it.
portfolio.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank
that was a
you.
really good statement.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm gonna head out. We'll be back here at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 2 hours from now. So meet in the panel channel.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Thank you, guys.
See
Or
y'all.
you guys stay around, hang out if you want, but I'm not gonna be here. So
Yeah, you guys can hang out.
Go.
yeah. All right. See you guys later.
See you guys.